What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my NFL Week 13 power rankings. So remember, if you guys like these videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel as it does help out a lot. And yeah, let's just get straight into this. Alright, so I'm not going to lie, I already recorded this once, but I forgot to press the record button. Oh, very smart of me. So yeah, let's just do this all over again. So, at number one, I have the Chiefs. Kept them at number one from last week just because they beat a very good, well, not very good, but top 10 team in the Buccaneers. Their offense is looking very good, and they led for the whole game that game. And even though the final score was very close, no one really felt that game was close. Okay, number two, I have the Steelers. They just beat the Ravens 20 minutes ago, I think. And yeah, kept them at number two, even though that was a very close game against the Ravens, and they could have lost their team of backups. They didn't lose, and that's all that matters. They're still undefeated somehow. And yeah, kept them at number two just because they just keep on finding ways to win. The defense looks very good. They got I think two more takeaways in that game. And the offense, even though it doesn't look very it isn't very explosive, but it can put up some points. Number three, I have the Saints, and have them at number three just because, okay, so first of all, their defense is was amazing last week, though. You don't really know what to say about that because you're playing up against a bunch of backup quarterbacks. But it's been pretty consistent. Their defense is really good, and their offense will Taysom Hill threw for I think 78 yards. Yeah, not the greatest of showings passing the ball, but the running game was very effective against the Broncos. And yeah, they looked very impressive, and I have them at number three. Okay, number four, I have the Bills for their 27-17 win against the Chargers. Now their defense, I feel is actually kind of coming into their own in the back half of the season. And their offense continues to be amazing, I guess. That's the only way to say it. Josh Allen is vastly improved from last season. And yeah, I may have the Bills a little bit too high. I've seen other power rankings. They don't really have the Bills at number four, but I feel the Bills are a top five team in the NFL, so I have them at number four. Okay, so the Seattle Seahawks, I have them at number five, moved them up 5 spots for that win against the Eagles. So first of all, their defense got a lot of turnovers against the Eagles, so that's something to be that's something to show off because the Seahawks defense was kind of historically bad before these past few weeks. The defensive line, they have a lot of sacks in the last few weeks. So yeah, I think I saw a stat in the past 4 weeks they've had the most sacks. So yeah, the great defensive line getting a lot of pressure. Probably a product of the Carlos Dunlap trade and Jamal Adams coming back. And when you have Russell Wilson at your quarterback on offense, you can't really go wrong there. And they have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and Chris Carson as weapons. And with Chris Carson, the running game really is getting back into steam. So yeah, I think that the Seahawks are a top five team in the NFL. Number six, I have the Titans. Move them up 6 spots from last week for their win against the Indianapolis Colts. So this was a big game for the Titans. If they lost, they were pretty much out of division contention unless the Colts kind of blew it. And thankfully they did win, or thankfully for the Titans fans, they did win. And they are in the driver's seat to win their division. So the Titans they ran very well against a good Colts defense. I think they were ranked number one in most stats before that game. But yeah, Derrick Henry went off and they put up a lot of points. I think 40 plus. And yeah, their defense kind of just held the Colts offense, and that was very good. A very good showing for the Titans. Okay, number seven, I have the Packers. Move them up 1 spot, and the reason I have the Packers here and not way higher is because okay, their offense, great job offense, that was actually very impressive. Put up 41 points against the Chicago Bears defense, which is supposed to be very good. But how you gonna let up I think 25 points against the Chicago Bears offense? That just shows you that for one, your defense really isn't that good because you left 25 points to Mitchell Trubisky in on a normal game with the Bears the Bears defense actually playing well, the Bears probably would have won that game. So yeah, have my concerns with the Packers, but they're definitely a top 10 football team. Okay, at number 8, I have the Colts move them down 2 spots for that loss against the Titans. I mean, like, it is a heartbreaking loss. If you won the game, you basically won the division. But, you know, it is a division game. It's a very good opponent in the Titans, so you really just, like, can't fault them too much for that. And hopefully they bounce back. But for now, I have them at number 8. Okay, at number 9, I have the Rams move them down 4 spots. Yeah, good lord, that was embarrassing, to say the least. Yeah, good lord, that was very embarrassing against the San Francisco 49ers. First lost in their new stadium, but like still, you know, we were very high in the Rams last week. Maybe a little bit too high. Now we're kind of low. I have them at number 9. Like they're still like the same football team. They just like have a lot of up and downs. And I feel like their up and downs are due to Jared Goff. Like Jared Goff could not play against good defenses. Like, you know, Miami's defense gave him hell, 4 turnovers, and the 49ers defense, which like really wasn't even that good. They have like most of their players on IR. You know, he didn't play too well, and and that's why the Rams probably lost, and that's why I have them at number 9. Okay, number 10, I have the Buccaneers. Moved them down 3 spots for a loss against the Chiefs, and like really, isn't because they lost. It's like in the way that they lost. Like, you know, as I said earlier, like that game just like didn't really feel like at all close, which like it should be if it's a two good teams going up against each other. And like I know that the final score was 27-24, but Kansas City was leading like the whole game, and the score could have been much like wider if there was like, you know, because the Kansas City Chiefs were like really just driving on that last drive. So yeah, I'm gonna have the Buccaneers at number 10. Their defense is not looking too well. Yeah, their defense is like just like Tyreek Hill, just like run, and he just keeps on running, and he got 200 yards on the game. And their offense like could use some chemistry work. So yeah, that's why I have them at number 10. Okay, number 11, I have the Miami Dolphins. Move them up 3 spots, and move them up 3 spots because like they just showed that they could win. Also showed it in the beginning of the year, but they showed that they could win with Tua, and they showed that they could win with Ryan Fitzpatrick, which I think is very impressive. Their defense is amazing, and if their offense can just put up some like more points, they'll even be like a top 10 team. Okay, at number 12, I have the Raiders. Move them down 3 spots for that embarrassing loss against the Falcons. Like that was just like very embarrassing, coming off a very big high against the Kansas City Chiefs last week, and then you just like pull out a stinker like that one. Yeah. So your defense like really definitely needs issues addressed. You can't be letting up 41 points against the Falcons. And your offense, like what happened, man? The Falcons don't really have a very good defense, and you like just couldn't. You only put up like I think 6 points. Like that's not good. So yeah, I think the Raiders are maybe one offseason away from being a very good team. Fix the defensive problems, maybe get Derek Carr one more weapon, and yeah, they'll be very good. Okay, number 13, I have the Cardinals. Move them down 2 spots. I didn't really punish the Cardinals too much, just because like if their kicker made that field goal, then we'd probably be singing a much different tune. Because I think that if it went to overtime, the Cardinals well won that game. So yeah, I just moved them down 2 spots, but like still. You can't you have to blow out the Patriots because the Patriots aren't a very good football team, and you just gotta blow them out. You can't only be putting up 17 points against the Patriots. So yeah, that's why I dropped them down. Even though I do think that they could have definitely should have won that game. Okay, number 14, I have the Browns. Move them up 1 spot, and the reason I didn't move them up more is because how are you only gonna beat the Jaguars by 2 points? Huh? It's the Jaguars, okay? And also, your offense is very one-dimensional. You don't have a pass rush, and your back end just really isn't the greatest. And I just said you don't have a pass rush. Like I know you guys. Okay, guys, you have one good pass rusher, Myles Garrett, and that's it. You don't have any other good players on your pass rush. Your defense really isn't the greatest. You know, I mean, I'm pretty sure you let Ben Roethlisberger throw 300 yards on you, and your offense is very one-dimensional. You can only run the ball, and then Baker Mayfield only looks good as a quarterback, remotely good as a quarterback, when he is on play action. So, yeah, very one-dimensional team. Okay, number 15, I have the Ravens. Again, this is the game that happened like 20 minutes ago. And I have them at number 15, move them down 2 spots just because like I can't really fault them for that loss. I mean, like, they had like a full team of backups, but like at the same time, you really wish that the Ravens, I mean, like, they did put up a lot of fight, but you like it's just like the previous weeks when they did have Lamar Jackson. It's just like they still didn't even look very good. So you don't really know like how good they are. Like, I mean, they looked very good given the like conditions and like the situation, but like in the past few weeks, it didn't really look very good. So yeah, I have them at number 15 for now. Okay, number 16, I have the Washington football team and have them at number 16 because, well, just because like I think that they're the best team in the NFC East. They're probably gonna win the division. And oh yeah, more on that. I have a video coming out on I think Saturday or Sunday that will detail it more in detail. Oh, I just said detail two times in the same sentence. But yeah, I feel like the Washington football team definitely has the best chance of getting to the playoffs, and I feel like that they have like the best team overall, and like they just blew out the Cowboys. So yeah, the running game looked very good against the Cowboys, passing game looked very good against the Cowboys, and their defense looked very good against the Cowboys. So yeah, have them at number 16 for now. Okay, number 17, I have the Houston Texans. Move them up 2 spots for that blowout win against the Lions on national television. Their offense looked very good against the Lions defense, and their defense actually, like, it wasn't the greatest, but like they still held the Lions to like 20 points, in that range. So yeah, very good showing by the Texans on Thanksgiving football. Okay, number 18, and you guys are like Giants fans are probably gonna be triggered, but I have the Giants here. Move them down 2 spots, even though they won. Yep, you heard me right. Move them down, even though they won. And the reason I moved them down is just because like, mate, the Bengals were on their last legs. Joe Burrow, he's out of the game, okay? Joe Burrow, well, not out of the game, like he was already out for the season. They have a backup quarterback. Their team was already not very good. Joe Burrow was like the lone bright spot on their team, and he's like he wasn't playing. So then, how are you only gonna beat the Bengals by 2 points? 2 points. Like, if you want to make the playoffs, I think you gotta do a little bit better than that. So yeah, I have them at number 18. Okay, number 19, I have the 49ers, and like 49ers fans are probably going to be triggered at me because I only moved them up 1 spot for that win against the Rams. Okay, I agree that win was very impressive, and they probably should be higher, but I just couldn't justify moving the Giants down like more because like they won the game. I feel like two's enough to move them down. So yeah, that's why I just put the 49ers at number 19. Okay, you know what? I actually think I'm gonna make a last minute switch here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Okay. Originally it was Vikings at number 20, Falcons at number 21, but I think I'm gonna put the Falcons at number 20 and Vikings at number 21, simply because the Vikings did not look convincing at all in their victory against the Panthers. I thought that for like many like minutes of that game that the Panthers were actually gonna win that game and not the Vikings, which like if you want to go to the playoffs and be a very good football team, you gotta like win those games because like you gotta win those games like the Falcons just be a very good team in the Raiders. So yeah, that's why I have the Falcons above of the Vikings. Because that the Falcons absolutely manslaughtered the Raiders, while the Vikings only just barely squeaked it out against the worst team in the Panthers. Okay, at number 22, I have the Broncos, moved them down 5 spots, and this like really isn't their fault. I mean, it isn't the Broncos organization's fault. It's where the Broncos quarterback's fault for not wearing masks. But yeah, they didn't have any quarterbacks, and they lost I think 31-7. But like still, you gotta question like how is the defense, which is supposed to be good, gonna let up 31 points against a backup quarterback? Like, that's something you gotta take into consideration. I know, and guys are probably gonna say, "Oh, it's because the Broncos didn't have like very good quarterback play, so the Saints had a lot of time of possession." And yeah, sure, you could say that, but like still, man, 31 points is a lot. So like you can't be letting those points up if you want to consider yourself a good defense. Okay, number 23, I have the Panthers, and I moved them up 2 spots for their win against, for their loss against the Vikings. And yes, I moved them up even though they lost. And that's because they played very hard against the Vikings. They looked very good against the Vikings, and they seem to be playing very hard for their coach. And I like their future, and I think that with one more draft, they might even be able to like squeak into the wild card next season. Okay, number 24, I have the Bears, moved them down 3 spots. So like I saw a lot of offense from them. You know, Mitch Trubisky, bad quarterback, but they put up 25 points against the Packers. And like usually that would be enough. That would be enough to win because you know the Bears defense is amazing. But apparently not last week because the Bears defense wasn't amazing and they let up 41 points to Aaron Rodgers. Like you gotta be playing better than that on defense when you're supposed to have like an amazing defense. So yeah, that's why I have them at number 24. Number 25, I have the Chargers, move them down 1 spot for their loss against the Bills, and like it really isn't their fault. The Bills are a very good football team, but I'd still like want to see them do more offensively. I feel like they always choke their games, and even though they didn't choke that one specifically against the Bills, they gotta do more on offense, more on defense, and more on special teams. There's more altogether. Okay, number 26, I have the Patriots, move them up 4 spots for that win against the Cardinals, and I feel like I just really buried the Patriots after their loss against the Texans. And I apologize, Patriots fans. You guys are not in the bottom 30 this time. You're at number 26, okay? Yeah, I have them at number 26 just because like they really just haven't looked like the greatest of teams this season. I mean, like they've lost to very bad teams like the Broncos, but they have also beat very good teams like the Ravens, so you don't really know where they are. But yeah, I have them at number 26 for now. Okay, so the next 2 teams, Eagles and Cowboys, I feel like they are at like a similar level of skill. Both like I don't know which quarterback I would take, Carson Wentz or Andy Dalton. They're both like equal. They both like really just don't have good offensive lines, and though the Cowboys do have a better like weapon set than the Eagles just have nothing in terms of weapons. The Eagles have a better defensive line than the Cowboys, and overall just a better defense. So I feel like they're like kind of equal. But the only reason I have the Eagles ahead of the Cowboys at 27 is because they have a better record. Yep, it's because of that tie against the Bengals. Yep, that's right. So yeah, the Eagles I have at number 27 and the Cowboys at number 28, and both of them dropped 1 spot. Okay, number 29, I have the Bengals also dropped 1 spot for that loss against the Giants, and they actually like showed a lot of fight in that, but like still like they just aren't a very good football team. I don't foresee them winning like maybe like I don't foresee them winning like any more games in the regular season. So yeah, maybe they'll finish 2-13-1 and get a very high pick. Who knows? Okay, number 30, I have the Lions. Like, do you guys remember when the Lions actually thought that they could go to the playoffs and trade for Everson Griffin? Yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah, the Lions just got humiliated by the Texans on Thanksgiving football. Their offense, I mean, like it did look decent, I guess, but like still, it's the Houston Texans defense, which really isn't that good. You gotta put up more points, and their defense looked horrendous, giving up 41 points. So yeah, that's why I have them at number 30. And number 31, the Jaguars, and I almost thought about moving them up, but I remember what I said, not gonna move them up unless they win the game, and they almost won the game against the Browns. But they didn't do it. And number 32 are the Jets. I mean, like, I don't think anyone's denying it. Like, they're the worst team in football. So, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. And if you guys did, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Too easy!